Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I too welcome the opportunity to speak briefly to second reading on this bill. And certainly we in the NDP caucus welcome this legislation, and I know that I have many constituents for whom this is deeply personally welcomed. So I am just going to take a few minutes to speak about some of the impacts of having presumed consent for organ donation. One of my one interesting fact that I found is that while 90% of Canadians are, say that they would support or that they would want to donate themselves, only 20% of Canadians actually sign their organ donor cards. And I found that particularly striking right now because my children's health cards arrived, and my children's health cards have them noted as donors, and my health card, which also had expired, arrived at the same time, and I wasn't there as a donor. And I was like, what is going on right now? And of course, I mean, I know we had a number of conversations in our house, because I'm sure that my partner hesitated to check that box on our children's health cards, because we don't like to contemplate death. As a society, we really don't like to contemplate death, and contemplating organ donation means contemplating death. Nonetheless, my children, we did fill out the form, and we said that yes, they would be donors, and somehow that got missed in my application, and I just felt really uncomfortable with the fact that my children could potentially be donors, and that I hadn't said that about myself, because I want to go first. For the record, let Hansard show I fully want to go first. Anyhow, so I found it very interesting to read the statistic that 90% of Canadians say that they would be glad to be donors, but only 20% fill out the donor cards, because I called up and connected with the person who had to send me the application so that I could adjust my own health card to reflect my wish to be a donor. And I know it arrived at my house, and I know it is somewhere in my house, and I'm a mom who works very full time, and I've got 2 children, and it is somewhere, it is somewhere in the paperwork that is piled up. And so I remain with this sort of sense of anxiety, because I both want to go first and I want to be a donor. So I really welcome this opportunity for more Nova Scotians to, I guess, be the selves that they wish to be by having our consent presumed for organ donation. And I will find my own paperwork. In some areas of Europe where a similar change has been made, donations have actually gone up in the range of 35%. So for those people who are waiting long times for organs, this could really be very, very significant. We know that one organ donor can save up to 8 lives. We know that one tissue donor can save or improve the lives of between 50 and 80 individuals. And of course, both for people who are waiting and for people who love the people who are waiting, that waiting is truly agonizing. So I trust that this legislation, I think, means something to them, maybe less so practically, but more so kind of emotionally and empathically, that we are saying as a government that we are sorry for their waiting and we understand the urgency. I do have concerns. I mean, I hope that this will actually result in more life-saving operations and more quality of life, importantly, for Nova Scotians, given the challenges in our healthcare system. I don't know, what impact this will look like, or what the impact will look like in the short term. But I think it is important for those individuals waiting that we communicate that we want to do everything that we can as government to ensure that their suffering and their waiting is as short as we can make it. And I think this legislation moves us towards that, and certainly also moves towards creating a space for more Nova Scotians to have that really transformative experience, both of giving the greatest gift that one can possibly give, and also of receiving the greatest gift that one can possibly receive, which I think is really a powerful experience and a powerfully positive experience on both sides of that relationship. So with those few words, I look forward to hearing what we will hear at Law Amendments. Thank you.